You think that, Patty?
I agree.
All right, listen, I want to start with this. Oh, what a night. Watching Tottenham on a Tuesday night. You play first because you're fucking shy.
You can't then tell me that two players go out and you strengthened as well, and then all of a sudden your whole season crumbles. It's crazy. And to me, if Arsenal don't make top 4 this season, that is one of the biggest bottle jobs in recent Premier League history.
You run off.
But imagine me then turning around and saying, oh, you guys are celebrating today, but 3 weeks ago you were unhappy. That's football. But it doesn't make you a flip-flop fan. You're actually enjoying it. I'm not happy, man. I was underwhelmed. I was quite shocked when he was when we were linked to him. I mean, we had some big hitters in there originally, Conte, Poch, you know. So then to be then linked with
Grin, almost as big as he is because he's like 6'5". Very good friend, very good person. Previously of our channel friends Views TV is the one and only Patrick Tyrant.
Yes, what's happening, people? It's your boy Patrick Tyrant, aka Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, see the P. When you see the peanut represents T. Let's go. I think we're live. Yeah, man. I think we are live. Yes, what's going on? Chatty Patty episode 5. We're up to 5 already. Yeah, man. What can I say? It's been another good weekend of Premier League football. We are live and direct. We are literally, yeah, man. It's bank holiday Monday, so happy bank holiday, everyone. I hope you're enjoying yourself. If you're out at Carnival and you're catching this on the rewind, I hope you stay safe, stay out of trouble, behave yourself, and just enjoy. You know what I mean? Last 2 summers we've been in lockdown, COVID, all of that stuff. So I understand that people are enjoying themselves, and to be honest, Carnival's not really my thing. Got quite a few invites to go. Decided to just stay at home. I've got a few streams to do today, but I wouldn't have went anyway, even if I didn't have streams to do. But I digress. But yeah, thank you for joining me. It is your boy Patrick Tyrant, aka Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, you see the P. When you see the peanut represents T. Let's go. We are still unbeaten in the league. Imagine unbeaten in the league, 4 games in. Going good. A lot of naysayers and stuff like that out there. Let me do some housekeeping actually. Let's welcome to my show, Chatty Patty episode 5. I am Patrick Tyrant. You can catch me on YouTube. Obviously, this is what you're watching me on. Twitter and Insta, it's the same name. Very easy to find. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Will help me immensely. Also hit the like button, man, because I'm noticing I'm getting quite a lot of views, which is really good, and I'm humbled. So thank you for viewing and tuning in and stuff like that. But the likes aren't matching the views right now. So yeah, it helped me immensely if you guys do tune into the video. If you like me, like what I'm saying, like the guests, like, you know, how I'm presenting myself and what I'm doing and whatever, just click the like button, man, because the more likes I get, the more I am put in the face of other people that don't know me and haven't watched this before and all of that stuff. So I hate saying all this stuff like, oh, hit the like and subscribe and all of that. I don't want to do that. It should come naturally, but unfortunately it doesn't. So if it doesn't, then obviously please do that. It does help me. But anyway, let's get into the juicy bits. I'm going to check. I've got some comments, people tuning in already. So let's see what they're saying. Lawless needs to shed some light on that performance for real. Okay, so I take it, Andy, that you are a West Ham fan. So thank you for tuning in. Lawless is jumping on soon and he will definitely shed some light. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly talk about Tottenham, where we are, what we're doing, and then obviously we're getting to the juicy game, which is West Ham versus Tottenham on Wednesday. And I'm looking forward to that one because obviously the last game we played you lot, it was a good game, man. It was a very good game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I'm sure you guys will want your revenge. So that's going to be a good one. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, Andy. Lawless will be here soon. But yeah, let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking indeed. So, like I said, Premier League, it was a juicy round of fixtures. Game week 4 went off with a bang. Southampton 0, Man United 1 was the first game. BT Sports 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. Brentford 1, Everton 1. Decent result for Everton, I guess, on their run of form. Brighton 1, Leeds 0. Brighton are doing great things, and I mean, we've got 10 points, so are Brighton. Graham Potter, one of the most underrated. How long can you say a guy's underrated for? It's almost like the same thing with Son. You know, like Tottenham fans and people scream, oh, Son's underrated. But people that know football do rate him. And the same way I'm saying Graham Potter's underrated, I think football fans and football purists do rate Graham Potter and appreciate what he's doing. But maybe on a grander scheme, he's not as rated as highly as he should be. And I was saying it last year when we were after manager and we were getting tough left, right, and centre. I said get Graham Potter in. A few people laughed at me and scoffed at the idea, and I bet now they understand the vision and understand what I'm saying. He's a great manager, great tactician, always gets the best out of his players. He loses players at left, right, and centre, but the team evolves and they just look as good, if not better. And hats off to him, man. He's a good manager. Chelsea 2, Leicester 1. Chelsea played most of the game with 10 men. Conor Gallagher, is he ready to play at the level that Chelsea need him at? I'm not sure. 2 naive yellow cards. Chelsea still won the game. They were 2-0 up. Leicester got a consolation goal. They hung on considering the 10 men. I feel if it was 11 versus 11, they probably would have spanked Leicester, let's be honest. Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0. Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0. You're hearing that right. That is not a typo, or I'm not getting that wrong. 9-0, mental. And you know what's funny? When we hear like Bayern Munich or Barcelona or Real Madrid spanking teams or PSG, we're like, oh, that's a farmers league, man. What a joke. But when it happens in the UK, we kind of like, yeah, we need to keep that same energy, because 9-0 is a travesty and that shouldn't be happening at this level. So Bournemouth, come on, man, pull your socks up. You can't be getting bent over and spanked every single game. That is mental. At what point do you like just shut up shop, man? 9-0, mental, crazy. Man City 4, Palace 2, really good game. Palace were 2-0 up, but obviously ended up just not being able to handle the pressure and they wilted. It was weird because I say weird. It was 2-0 and Palace scored a goal which was chalked off. 3-0, probably game over. It was deemed that they encroached on the goalkeeper. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Be interesting to see what you guys think. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Good game. Fulham put up a fight. In the end, it wasn't enough. Arsenal getting the job done. They're 4 for 4, unbeaten. So 4 wins out of 4. I mean, there's a few teams unbeaten, but yeah, they're on maximum points, 12 points. So it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal do this season. I had them in my top 4 from day dot. You know, I like to think that I'm an honest football fan. I call it how I see it. I said that Arsenal have improved, even though they bottled 4th last year. It's clear that they are a better team, and they made strides last year. My top 4, if you don't know already: Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Arsenal. We'll see in what order they finish, but I do think those are the 4 best teams in the league, and you're kind of seeing that now anyway. I know Liverpool haven't started that brightly, but I'm sure they will get back to where they need to be. And then Sunday's games: Wolves 1, Newcastle 1. Decent game, I suppose. The ending of the game was really good. And then we got Villa 0, West Ham 1. We're going to touch on that with Dan Lawless when he jumps on. West Ham getting a win. Wasn't that convincing, if I'm being honest, but they got the job done. And then our game, which has caused a lot of divided opinions, shall I say, across football, not just Spurs fans. Forest 0, Tottenham 2. So with that, let me just get onto the game. I think that Tottenham fans and football fans need to appreciate what Conte's doing. Conte isn't a guy that wants to play tiki-taka football. That's not his MO. He's never been that guy. He doesn't need to play the fanciest football, walking the ball into the net like we've seen with essentially some Man City teams in the past, or even Arsenal in their heyday. And I say even in their heyday, I mean, I remember when Arsenal with Jack Wilshere, Giroud, Santi Cazorla, that kind of team, and they used to play wonderful football and essentially almost try and walk the ball into the net and try and score the perfect goal. We don't play that style of football. What Conte likes to do is he likes to basically control both penalty boxes, the middle of the park, in between those final thirds in each side. You can have the ball, do what you want with it. I say do what you want. I mean, if you watch a Conte team, we're well drilled. We don't concede many chances, in the sense of it takes a lot to break down a Conte team, and it takes a lot to execute a real good quality chance. So if you watch the games, yes, Nottingham Forest had a lot more of the ball. I say a lot more of the ball. It was 55% to 45%. So it wasn't like they had so much more of the ball than us. Away from home, you kind of sometimes do concede possession. But with all of the huffing and puffing that Nottingham Forest did, I can't really name more than 1 or 2 good chances that they created. They had a header, which the young striker should have probably got on target. He didn't. And other than that, I don't really recall any more clear-cut chances. So what I'm trying to say is that Conte football, he doesn't, yes, you may have more of the ball than you, but if you realize that they're great, Conte's teams are great in attacking third, and I'll get onto that because I put asterisks there because I wouldn't say that we've been fantastic going forward, but you get my point. And also defensively, solid. Dyer, Sanchez, Ben Davis in the back three. That is not what I would say is a quality defensive lineup if you look at them individually. But as a unit, Jesus, they are good. Like Sanchez has played a lot of football when Romero was injured and this year. And if I'm being honest, the guy looks solid, man. He's a good defender in a Conte system. And that's the point, is systems, isn't it? Systems and teams win games, not individuals. And yeah, I just think that people need to understand that with Conte's football, it's not always going to be beautiful, but he gets the job done. We score a lot of goals. We don't concede many goals. We don't concede many chances. And I think people need to understand that. And it would stop a lot of the meltdowns and breakdowns. Because for me, we're 4 games in. We've won 3 of them and drawn 1. And we drew away at Stamford Bridge, which is a team where we never really get a result. We were fortunate in that game. So in that game, I can kind of say we did kind of go away from Conte's MO because we didn't have control of the game. And that's what I want to touch on, that you can control a football game without possession. And let me repeat myself again. You can control a football game without possession. And I think people need to understand that. Just because the other team has the ball, it doesn't mean they're in control of the game. If you're not breaking the team down, if you're not creating quality chances, if you're not putting that defense under pressure, if it doesn't look like you're going to score, you are not in control of the football game. Let me say that again. Just if you have the ball, but do not do anything constructive with it, you're not in control of the football game. Yesterday, how many saves did Lloris make? I recall 1, and it was from a long distance effort. Other than that, Lloris wasn't peppered. He wasn't under siege. He wasn't pulling off save after save after save. And this is what you have to remember as well when you're watching a football game. It's not just all about, oh my God, they got the ball. Like when we had the ball, we broke in numbers. And with a bit more quality, it would have been 5 or 6. It was 2-0. Harry Kane missed a penalty, so it should have been 3, yeah? Point blank, missed the penalty. 9 times out of 10, he scores that. That's 3-0. Sonny had 2 chances, which he should have scored. Højbjerg played in Harry Kane, perfect pass. And Højbjerg's an enigma. It's a weird one because sometimes he really frustrates me, but he always has good moments. In the last couple of games, he's played some really good through balls where players should have finished off those chances and he would have had a couple more assists and blah, blah, blah. But Harry Kane one-on-one usually scores. That's already 4 or 5. And then we had other chances. What was it? Sessegnon, when he came on, him and Harry Kane, 2-on-1. All Sessegnon had to do was square the ball to him. And he took ages, more touches. And then the pass got blocked. Then Richarlison got onto the ball. And I'll get into it. So, yeah, I mean, we definitely dominated that game in the areas that it mattered. So I don't really understand the narrative that we weren't in control of the game. We were lucky. It's really weird. Like, if you actually watch the game, there's no way that you can say that Tottenham didn't have all the better chances, shouldn't have scored more goals. And to be fair, we're just in control of the game when it mattered. For me, it's a weird one. I don't know. Maybe I see things differently to some of you guys. Would love to know what you guys think. But for me, Tottenham were in control of that game in both phases of play, defensively and offensively. So I don't really understand what the meltdown's about. But, you know, we are football. We all have different opinions. We all have different ideas. I get it. And that's why it's a beautiful game, because we all see things differently. But for me, I wasn't really concerned. I was never at the edge of my seat like, oh my God, what's going on? Nail biting, hiding behind the couch like shit. You know, we're going to concede. I never felt like that. For me, the frustration was that we wasn't clinical enough. We should have scored more goals. And my only thing was when Harry Kane missed that penalty, I was like, oh man, like sod's law, they're going to come down and score. But then as the game progressed, I didn't really feel like that. That was the only time I was a bit worried after he missed the penalty. See Dean Henderson waving his cap, celebrating. I was like, oh man, like, it's one of those days, isn't it? But that never really came into fruition. So for me, I'm not really, it's not that big of a concern for me. But I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about it. I'm going to get through some of the comments. No, I'm an Arsenal fan. Just don't want him to gaslight you into thinking they played well. That's fair enough. And respect for tuning in, Andy. I love that. That's the thing. I want all fans to tune into my channel. Yeah, I'm a Tottenham fan. And obviously, I do touch on Tottenham games more often than not. But it's great that we're getting all different fan bases tuning in. So I appreciate that. Shout out to Paige. Salute. Have a great stream, Patrick. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, everyone. Exactly what she said. A real good. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, man. It's great that other people are saying it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Thoughts on Son being unhappy, being taken off. I'll touch on it now. At the end of the day, a player of Son's caliber, I would say he's more frustrated at himself that he hasn't got on the score sheet yet. He had chances, he didn't finish them, and you could almost see he was in two minds. There was a time where he attempted to make a pass first of all. He should have sorry, am I rambling on? No, this is it. It was him and Harry Kane, 2-on-1 or 2-on-2, and he tried to lay the ball off to Kane, where, in my opinion, he should have shot. Then the ball came back to him, and he should have laid in Kane, but he was in two minds, and again, he took the shot. And I just think that 4 games in, he knows the pressure's on him. He can feel that he should have scored by now, and he's kind of snatching at chances, and he's not relaxing. And as soon as Son just doesn't think it and just does it, he'll start scoring goals, man. The quality's there. He had a really good attempt, which he kind of curled over the bar. Henderson was rooted to the spot. Should have scored, could have scored, but I'm not worried about Son, man. I just think it's really weird that 4 games in, people are almost writing them off. The guy's an insane baller. All players go through these patches or stretches where they don't score in a couple of games. It's normal. He's in the right places. He's making the right runs. He's going to be fine, man. And he should be annoyed at himself. That's fine. Like, competition for places is healthy. He knows that we're not going to play him for the full 90 if he's not doing his job. We've got good players, strength and depth, and it's cool, man. I've got no issues there. Forrest had 17 shots. We had 18. Okay, come on. Listen, it's all well and good, the numbers, but I've actually got the stats here anyway. Shots on target, Nottingham Forest 1, Tottenham 7. Shots off target, Forest 10, Spurs 7. So like I said it earlier, we had the quality, we had the game controlled in both areas for me. And the fact that they only had 1 shot on target says it all. And that shot on target was from outside the box. We didn't allow them to break us down. We didn't allow them to ping balls around us and get into great positions. And then they should have, of course, if they had better quality players, maybe they would have done that. But that's all if, buts, and maybes. What happened then and there was that they didn't basically have better chances to score. So, and listen to this as well. For all the XG geeks out there and all the people that love all these stats, Forest 0.90, so less than 1 XG, and obviously they scored 0 goals. Spurs 2.57 XG, and we scored 2 goals. So we actually underperformed in terms of where we should have been. So even the people that do all the stats in terms of the quality of the chances, who had the chance, where they should, blah, 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 it's clear that we controlled that game. I don't know. We need to up our performance on Wednesday. I agree. We definitely have to play better against a better team. But like I said, we weren't really at the races. Yeah, we scored 2 goals. We should have had a lot more. We weren't as good as we should have been, but we won the game and kept a clean sheet. And for me, those are positives. Just my opinion. No, and that's fair enough. Like I said earlier, so it's a game of opinions. There's no right or wrong. People will think that I'm in the wrong in some of these things. Some people agree with you. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that your opinion is a silly one, but I don't agree with it, if I'm being honest. But that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. I want people to voice their opinions, and I want you guys to speak up. And this is it. This is what we do, man. But I've got Mr. Dan Lawless backstage. I can see him grinning. I think he can hear me. This guy is a great guy. He's a West Ham fan, so it's a bit annoying. But other than that, he's perfect, man. West Ham through and through. Part of West Ham Fan TV, so he's doing good things. He's here, there, and everywhere. You've probably seen him on Don Robbie's channel. He's been on the terrace with Terry as well. And he's let me just bring him in anyway. Without further ado, drum roll, please. We've got Mr. Dan Lawless, and I'm going to add him to the stream. Yes,
how's it going?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Couldn't get my webcam working, so I'm on my phone at the moment.
That's good. So welcome to Chatty Patty episode 5. So this is obviously my new thing. I've been on so many streams with you, but this is new to you and to me. Started this channel at the beginning of the season. It's doing quite well, to be fair. And what I'm doing is literally just touching on the games that have just happened and then previewing the games that are about to happen. And the reason I got you on, I can't We can't play West Ham and not bring you in. It doesn't make sense. So here you are. So, I'm going to stop waffling. West Ham, what are you saying? How are you feeling right now going into, forget the game for now, forget Wednesday's game.
Yeah.
The summer, the ending of the last season, how do you think that went? And then in terms of your transfer activity, the mood in the camp, I mean, just talk to me, man. Let me just, get it off your chest. Tell me everything you want to say about West Ham.
Yeah.
Right now.
You know what? I'm feeling very differently than I was before Sunday. Like Sunday, it was just like flat, feeling a bit frustrated, just feeling negative, all of that. The stats, we had won 1 win in our last 10. The new signings, Moyes was slow burning them, not bringing them in, so we weren't really getting to see many changes. And then Sunday rolls around, first half, I'm miserable, man. I was like on the watch along. There was a point I had my head in my hand like that.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, what am I watching? And then he changes things at half time. Moyes changed things at half time.
Which never happens. Never.
I know, it was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And we got the win, 3 points. What a difference that makes, honestly. It's just like a huge sigh of relief. We've still got a lot of work to do. The transfer business we've done is looking good. I'm happy with the signs we're making. Paqueta is. We're just
his quality, man. His quality. Yeah. I'm jealous of that one, man, because I've wanted him for a while. I mean, we're screaming out for a number 10. And I know people are going to say, but Kante doesn't play with a 10. We don't have that. But listen, you have different players for different games, and you have different players to change games. And I feel we're missing a quality playmaker. I didn't want Eriksen. I didn't like the way he left us, and I just wanted us to move on from that. No point bringing him back. So I wanted somebody like a Paqueta, like a James Maddison, and yeah, man. I mean, there's not many creative, talented number 10s out there, and he's one of them. Brazil international, very good. I can't lie, I'm very jealous, and that is a real signing of intent. I mean, Samaka is another good one. Who, I mean, we didn't need him, so I'm looking at it like, yeah, cool. But for you guys, that's a fantastic signing. But Paqueta, I'm very jealous of because I feel that we could do with him. So you guys are signing some good quality. I mean, I've spoke to you off this anyway. We speak, quite frequently, and I said you guys are signing good players, man. Like you've got options now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Cornet, I'm happy with as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he's a quality player, like you said. Scamacca, honestly, seeing him play for us, it's just a breath of fresh air. Like Antonio has been so effective, but he's obviously naturally a winger.
Exactly.
And Scamacca, you look at him, you see that's a proper striker. The way he can link up with players, his movement, the way he reads the game. Honestly, he's been like an absolute breath of fresh air. And now
these are all full-fledged quality internationals. You're not buying like possibly players for the future. Of course, they're going to get better as well because they're still at a good age. Thing, but they're not players that potentially will grow into like maybe like no disrespect to Fornals, but someone that's on the verge of playing for their country and not really there. Yeah. These guys are already there. They're known. They're good. They come in. They make a difference. So yeah, man, got to give you guys credit in that sense.
Yeah, and obviously, as a lot of people know, like one of the big issues that cost us last season was our depth. Our squad depth was so poor. And now it's being addressed. Now we're finally getting that squad depth sorted, so we can then try and go for this Conference League thing and try and chase that, getting that top 6 race.
100%.
So it's just getting to that time where this is the worst part when you're getting these signings in late and they're not ready and they're not really getting games. I mean, I feel like we're going to start to see the benefits like in a few weeks because even though we got that win over the line, we're still not peak. It's still issues there, but hopefully that gives us confidence.
We've got some comments or questions for you. I still feel that way for you as you stumbled to win against Villa. So I don't know the gist of this, but obviously he's just saying you stumbled against Villa. So what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, look, the Moyes, he went to back 5 to try something different against Villa. And it was terrible. Like we couldn't create anything. We just couldn't get into the game. They had the possession. Half-time changes things. We were the better side in half-time. Still, not as creating as much as I would like to see. But, we dominated the game. We had the better chances. We was on the front foot. So I hate to say the cliche, but it was a game of two halves. But yeah, it was hardly a convincing, emphatic win for sure. But it's a win that was needed because you could see the players how relieved they were. We hadn't
Yeah, I
scored.
saw
We hadn't
Declan
scored.
Rice after the game, and you just saw him hunched over, like, but in a good way. But he was just like,
Yeah,
"Yes, thank God!" Like,
the
put that monkey off
pressure
our
is
back.
off.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And look, we got someone, Spurs fan, has good guy. West Ham have a lot of players that can hurt us. I agree. So I agree. You guys have always been dangerous, and I mean, when you play us, you always seem to step up and play a good game. And obviously now with the extra players you've brought in, yeah, man, we have to come with our A game and just, yeah, we're gonna get into the West Ham Tottenham bit in a bit, but yeah, I agree. You guys have definitely got good players. Let me see what else we got. We have far more players that can hurt them, and okay. So it looks like it looks like Haz and Pete are having a conversation between themselves, but I'm just bringing it out. And so obviously, Haz has said West Ham are players that can hurt us. We've touched on that, and then Pete's now turning back saying we have far more players that can hurt them. And we don't look like conceding despite playing poorly between both boxes. So what's your thoughts on that one?
Look, again, like I said, we're not at the peak of our quality yet. Tottenham's been good, but there's been some vulnerability there. You look at some of the teams you're playing. Forest, you could look at them and say they just could not finish, chances.
Yeah.
Like obviously the Spurs have just, some real quality players and some game changers as well off the bench, like Richarlison. I was one of the people, people were sort of laughing at Spurs saying, "Oh, he's a quality player they've got." Like, when I see him, the game against Wolves, I think it was, I watched him come on, and he just added a whole different energy. There's all players there. It's just about, obviously who's the most solid defensively and who can just take advantage of those moments. And I think we just have to. Moyes is just gonna have to pick the best lineup to deal with your issues that you have. Those vulnerabilities. It's going to be interesting, but Paqueta, I don't think will start. I think because that is a sort of player I think would be key for us. Someone that can
definitely. Is that done now, or are we still waiting to finalize it? Like, what's the latest
last time I checked, he'd done all of the media, everything else had done. It filmed pictures, but we're just waiting for the agent to get there to sign on the dotted line.
Fair enough.
So that should be done. So if he does that, if it signs today, he can be in the squad.
Ready. Yeah.
But
I don't want that, man. I don't want him coming on with 10-15 minutes because it's like the story will be written and he'll just do something.
Having him on the bench would be a huge boost.
Definitely.
And something like that. But same way, I could see Lanzini coming in and maybe.
Mate, that name, Lanzini. That haunts me. We were cruising.
He loves playing against Spurs.
Yeah, we were cruising. I think what was it, 3-0 up, and then at 3-1. Bale fucked about and took the piss and he hit the post and then he was like running back with his tongue, like just being stupid. And then obviously we all know what happened. So yeah, man, Lanzini, you bastard.
He's had a few good moments against Spurs. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'll be there, something going. Even though Paqueta is much better than Lanzini,
but for this game, Lanzini gets it, innit? He gets it. So. But look, you got a compliment there. Dan Lawless seems like a grounded Hammers fan, so that's nice. And he's like, and then he follows up saying, unusual to find one. So now, to be fair, Dan, follow Dan on the socials, on the Twitter and stuff. He's a good guy, man. And he calls it how he sees it. He gets onto his team, not in a negative. He's not a negative fan, but he's an honest fan. So if he's not happy with Moyes or not happy with a player, he's going to speak on it in a constructive and decent way.
But some of our fans will say I'm negative. It's funny, which is with a negative. Tired of the negative brush,
Yeah, you ain't, man. But I see you call it out, like when Moyes is fucking about or not doing what I feel he should be doing, or you as a West Ham fan feel he should be doing, you speak on it, which is good. You don't need happy clappers, but you don't need super negative fans. You just need someone that's in the
you got to look at things on balance, man.
Exactly.
You got to look at things and like you said, call it how you see it, the good and the bad. If Moyes says something good, I will praise him, like I praised him for changing things at half time. if he does something bad, I thought it was ridiculous that he drops Ben Rama, who's been our best player so far this season.
Yeah, no, I saw your tweet about that. Did Ben Rama play in the end, or did he not get on the pitch?
He come on the pitch and he changed the game. He changed the game. When he come on, we were better.
Yeah,
and that just showed. And people were like, "Oh, maybe he's resting him for Spurs." It's like, just because we're playing Spurs, we can look past Aston Villa and drop our close informed players.
You can't do that in this league. You can't do that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, would you sit there and go, "All right, Harry Kane's, even though he's like one of our best players," or Kulusevski?
Yeah.
Would you go, right, we're going to drop Kulusevski because we're playing West Ham on Wednesday?
Right now, you need everyone to get in tune and get up to speed. The good example would be Son, because Son hasn't started brightly and he hasn't looked himself. And obviously, there's questions, and some of the Spurs fans are saying that we should drop him. For me, that's crazy. But I understand. I don't get it, but I understand where they're coming from. So the good question, the question would be: would I drop Son for Nottingham Forest? Because you guys, no way. You want your strongest 11 playing in each game right now.
The thing is, and it's different because I look at Son, and you could argue that Son is a world class player, and what he can do, and the way he can link up with Kane. But I've been there with Bowen. And I wanted Bowen dropped for Aston Villa because his performances this season have been shocking. And he was honestly, that Villa game was the worst game I've ever seen.
When he was through on goal and he just fumbled the bag and didn't do anything, and then someone come back and got a tackle in on him. I can't remember who it was. It was Digne, Luca Digne, and there's no way he should have caught him. And it's like you either do one, you either get in position and take the shot, as in you get yourself right to angle it so you can pick a corner, or you slide someone in. He did not neither.
He had Ben Rama wide open.
That's it.
The ball to him. Ben Rama bangs that in the back of the net. But
that's it.
Like for such a good season last season, but he's been a passenger. Like, so to me, we're in a situation we're building a strong squad. You have to send a message to certain players. And I said for him, like, he got all the plaudits, and rightly so, last season. But I said to a lot of fans, I have to see it next season. I have to see it 2 seasons in a row. It can't be just one season.
I remember you saying that. I do remember you saying that. And again, some people jumped on you saying, "What are you on about?" But you're right. You can't have that dip. You know what? For me, I've noticed when he got that England call up and he kind of struggled internationally, I think his form has dipped since then. I think that took a massive blow to his confidence. He was on the cusp. People were saying that he should be ahead of Saka at that time. He was playing at such a high level. And I think him playing for England, he looked out of sorts. He kind of looked like it was a step too far for him. And that's no shame to him because it's your first time playing international football. But he's kind of like, since then, I've not seen the same level from Bowen. I don't know if you've seen that as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't. It's one of those things. It could be that because I've seen that before when we've had players go with England. Like I remember Antonio, who got called up to England, never got played. That's why he's playing for Jamaica now. But he come back different. Creswell come back different. Sometimes that can just happen. So it's one of those things. Like he to me, people are telling me like, "Oh, you got to let him play into form." I said, "How long are you going to give him to just sit there and we're going to play with 10 men?" Sometimes you've got to be able to drop players. How are you dropping Ben Rama? How does Ben Rama get dropped when he's been our best player and our worst player currently? I'm not saying he's worst in general, but just our worst form player can just keep getting crap game up.
There's one for you, Dan. But you're saying it's too far gone now, isn't it? In terms of
do you know what? There's been a lot of nervous West Ham fans because rumors have been going around. Someone's trying to hijack it and all of this stuff, and but. It would be a shocker. Honestly, I would be fuming. Somehow, some way that we slip this.
Oh man, no, I couldn't. But he's good though, man. Like honestly, like I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Chelsea need him, but even Arsenal need. But Arsenal probably need.
Arsenal were heavily linked with him. Before even like they were seriously going for him, and I think they're the club that's been rumored to be considering trying to hijack it or something.
Okay, but they've got Odegaard who's playing well in that 10 role, and they bought in Vieira. I don't know much about Vieira, but everyone says he's an 8/10.
Yeah, the thing is with he can also obviously play in that 8 role. Yeah, and he can play false 9. So I think a lot of people as well like him. I want him to play as 10, but I think a lot of managers like him for his versatility. And like, if you're like Arsenal, they're obviously looking at him and going, well, that midfield role is crucial, for them. So that's probably got them tempted. And then when Odegaard has them games where he can go missing or they want
Yeah.
so for them, but for us, we definitely need that creative spark for sure. I mean,
I'm happy to see him in the Prem, and other than when we play you guys, I don't really mind you guys like that. So I'm happy. I'm excited to see him play, but just not on Wednesday. I hope that doesn't get cleared on time because I don't need it. Because like all jokes aside, you see the difference of, like you said, when people were scoffing at Richarlison moving 60 million. I'm like, he's a good player. I don't know how much he's going to play, but I'm sure there's time for it. And you've seen the difference he makes. Quality players come in, they make a difference. If you're good, you are going to come on and do things. It's just football. Like Richarlison coming against Chelsea, changed the game, gave us that energy and push, helped us to get to a point in that game. And when you saw the cross that he gave delivered to Kane yesterday, that was outrageous. Outside of the boot, on a sixpence to Kane, easy header. And then obviously, actually, I'm going to ask you, a neutral fan. You're neutral to a degree, obviously you're West Ham, so there's always that bit of rivalry between us. But what did you think of the keepy-uppies, kick-ups, with Richarlison doing that?
This is the thing, right? Because I see the Nottingham Forest manager going crazy about and some people going crazy about it. Football is entertainment. That's what it's about. Football is to entertain the fans. So when someone's doing something like that, look, if I'm a Spurs fan and you're doing that and then you lose the ball and we go and concede, I'm fucking going mad at you. But when players are doing flair stuff, because it happened to us when I think Pyatt scored a Rabona or something, and someone, I think it was Callum Wilson or Deeney or someone, was doing their nut. Football is entertainment. When players try to entertain fans, that's what you want. That's what we go for. You want players to get you up out of your seat and bring a smile to your face. So people forget that. Why do we pay our money to go and watch these teams? To be entertained. So I have no problem with that at all. I think it was quality. And I also think it was quality the Nottingham Forest fan that took him out. That's what you got to do.
Like not on my turf. And I get it. I mean, when he did it, I was screaming red card, but it wasn't a red card. But obviously, I was just pissed off at the time. But when Steve Cooper's coming out saying, "Oh, it's so disrespectful," it's this and that, and Carragher's the biggest hypocrite, and even he's come out and basically changed his tune because at the time he's like, "You can't do that, you shouldn't do that," and then there's clips of Luis Diaz doing juggling, like he basically controlled it. He didn't do it like Richarlison. He controlled it with the outside of his foot and then did like one or two kick-ups, and then Carragher's like, "Ooh, juggle," and then Martin Tyler's like a bit of juggling and blah blah blah. So it just goes to show, depending on the team and the player, how they perceive it.
Why can't you do that? I'm sorry, like this whole thing, you're disrespecting your opponents. Like you could argue celebrating when you score. That's disrespecting
what about Dean Henderson? It's the same game. When Dean Henderson saved that penalty, you saw him take his cap off. He was waving it to the crowd. He was overdoing it. And is that disrespectful? No, it's not. It's football. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the emotion. And but
they would have hated Ronaldinho if he played in the
mate, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you want to see that. That's football.
Exactly. Let players express themselves. Let them enjoy. Like you said, as long as it's not street. I mean, we're 2-0 up, 10 minutes to go. Yeah, it kind of is a bit, but it's the same aspect as taking the ball to the corner and just messing about in the corner for a couple of minutes to waste time.
It's classic shit housing.
Yeah.
And that. The thing is, the Richarlison thing and the defender, it's two sides of what we love about football. We love the flair and the showboating, but we love the,
a crunching tackle. Yeah, we love all of that stuff.
Yeah, so, I ain't gonna take that. You ain't letting you do that. I'm taking you out. That's football. Like it's fun. When I see it, even though he's Spurs, I was like, I loved it. And like you said, people hold the ball in the corner. All of the time wasting that we've seen nowadays, like why are people making a bigger deal about keepy uppies than they are about all the time wasting and things that teams are doing now? Bruno, like look at Bruno against Liverpool. Fernandes, when he's doing the thing with the ball and all of this stuff, like pundits don't have a problem with that, but everyone's doing kick-ups.
Exactly, that's it. But anyway, I want to keep this as short. We're almost at 40 minutes now, so time's flown. West Ham versus Tottenham this Wednesday. How are you feeling going into the game? What's the mood like in the
It's.
camp and stuff?
I just feel like it's the wrong time for this fixture to come in a way. Like I just wish it had been like at least a month later, just for us to get our bearings, get our new signings like bedded in, and sort out what our best team is. And like the funny thing is, we missed the noble factor, who knows what this fixture is about.
Oh, definitely.
He's a big influence in the dressing room. Even when he's not playing in this fixture, just having him in and around the club is going to be very interesting to see how we take it. So I don't know what to expect, because Tottenham, like, even when you've been looking shaky, like the Wolves games, the Nottingham Forest game, you're still getting the points over the board, you're still getting the wins over the line. So what we need to do is take advantage and say, right, look, Spurs looking shaky. When in those moments when you are vulnerable, just be clinical, take advantage, and
Definitely.
then see it out. So I am worried about this game, but it's just I always go into this fixture. I don't know, anything can happen.
100%. These are derbies, and like they say, form goes out the window. We're in good form. You guys have, you haven't picked up as many points as you'd like, but I haven't looked at you guys and been thinking, oh, you lot are in trouble. Like when I look at Villa, for example, or I look at Leicester, I look at them like, oh, these guys are in trouble. I don't really see where their goals are coming from, or the manager doesn't have a clue. When I look at you guys, I know you're going to be around that 6th, 7th, and 8th spot. I definitely feel you'll be there. I think the league for me has broken down into like 4 mini leagues, but 3 that really matter. You've got the top 2, which will be Liverpool and City fighting for 1 and 2. Then for me, you've got Tottenham, Arsenal, and Chelsea fighting for 3rd and 4th. And then you've got you guys, Man United and Wolves, and Newcastle fighting for 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's the leagues for me. So you guys are definitely in there. So when I look at us, I agree with what you're saying. We haven't been great in all moments of the game. We usually are better in the second half. But for me, against a team of your quality, if we don't turn up for half of a football game, you could punish us. You got more quality than Nottingham Forest, and possibly Wolves are good technically in midfield, but you have more cutting edge than them. So if I'm looking at your team and we go missing for half of a game, it could be where we're 2-0 down and it's difficult to get anything other than a draw. So for me, I want to see us coming out and being switched on in both sides, defensively and offensively, because I think defensively we're quite solid. It's just that cutting edge in midfield and attack. Sometimes we're lacking it for half of a game. I don't know why, but it's like we seem to turn it on in the second half, and you can't do that against a better team. So I think that's where we will see what's what on Wednesday. Away at your ground is always tough. You guys always seem to turn it on when you play us. You're always up for the occasion. Hopefully, and I didn't think of that actually, hopefully the noble factor, him not being there, means that maybe, but then I'm being, because you got Declan Rice, you still got Cresswell, you still got all these guys that know what a London derby is. So yeah, it's a really tricky one, because before the Nottingham Forest game, I was thinking it would be a draw, but I'm now leaning towards us winning. I don't know why, I just have that feeling, and I'm just hoping that Son and Kane can be a bit sharper. I think Kulusevski's looked good. He's been sharp. He's been clinical. He's always done the right thing in terms of taking a shot. But Son and Kane haven't been at it. And it's funny saying that, because Kane's already on 4 goals, and he typically always has a slow August. So he's been sharp in certain moments, but also in other moments he's not looked himself. Like yesterday, he had a moment where he should have pulled the trigger when Højbjerg slid him in, and he took too long, almost like Bowen. He took too long to make a decision, and the defender caught up with him. So yeah. It's going to be an interesting battle for me as well, technically or tactically, the battle between David Moyes and Conte. And David Moyes doesn't get as much credit as he deserves, in my opinion. He's a good manager. His second stint for you guys has shown how good he is in terms of where he took you on a small budget. So it'll be interesting to see how David Moyes sets up, because I kind of know what Conte is going to do, but it's going to be interesting to see what you guys do at home. Are you going to take the game to us, or are you going to try, like, almost like, say, go on Tottenham, break us down, and we'll counter you guys? I want to see how you guys will do. That will be quite interesting. But it's going to be a tight game, man. I don't think it's going to... I hope we do, obviously, get the win and it's comfortable, but I can't see that, if I'm being honest. I don't know. It's going to be tight. It's going to be quite a tricky one, if I'm being honest. So it will be an interesting game, a fun game. London derbies are always a bit. I always like Crystal Palace. You know, who else is in the London team? Fulham's, all of that. With all due respect, I don't really care about those games. I feel we're going to win. But when I look at the Chelsea, West Ham, and Arsenal derbies, those are the ones which, for me, can go any way, home or away. And it's just so it's a bit of a, you know,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. But before we wrap up, are you brave enough to do a score prediction?
You know what? I did my Super Six, and
Yeah.
I've gone 1-1. I've gone
Okay.
for 1-1 just because yeah, like defensively we've looked good in recently. Zuma and Kura looked really good against Villa, and we then soaked up a lot of what they were throwing at us. But even though we have got some good players going forward, the goals have been not coming as much. So, and the creativity hasn't been there. So it's one of them. Like your quality means that you probably will get a goal. But I think we've got enough there to score as well if we pick the right lineup. So I can't see a win. I just think the timing of the season is wrong. I just don't think we're fully ready yet. I predicted before the start of the season that we would start slow. Anyway, but yeah, I can't see it. So I'm gonna go 1-1. But boy, if we win, man, that's gonna be.
I know. I don't want it. I mean, I initially predicted 2-2, and then for some reason I've changed it now. And I'm thinking maybe a 3-1 or 2. I think it'll be a 2-goal margin to us, which I don't know where I'm getting this from, but that's just what I feel. So hopefully 2-0, possibly 3-1. So we'll see. But I'm not confident. Like I was confident we would beat Forest. I was confident we would get a result against Chelsea. All the other games I've been very confident. In this one, for me, I think it will be a harder test than Chelsea. And that's a weird thing for me to say, but I just think you guys will be at it. And this is the game essentially where you guys can, almost like your coming out party, you can lay a marker. And then, like certain teams have their games that will kickstart their season. If you guys have a good game against us, then you're going to go on your good little run and so on. So I'm just hoping Paqueta's not ready to be registered. That is another, if he comes on off the bench with 10, 15 minutes to go, that's a big boost for you lot. So, let that happen the game after, not an hour one. But yeah, Dan, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. Where can the people find you? What you up to? What you got going on? All of that good stuff.
Yeah, obviously at the Lawless on Twitter. That's mostly where I am. You can find me everywhere else. Obviously, West Ham Fan TV. I've got my weekly show I do on my guy Matisse's channel, London Clubs Carnage, with Tobes and Dan Potts. So that's out tomorrow. And I'm doing a show with Tobes tomorrow, preview with him. If you think I was Mr. Level-headed West Ham, when I get together with this guy, that goes out the window. He just
you two goad each other. I see all of your stuff. As soon as something happens, West Ham, Tobes is onto you. Where's Dan at? Where's he?
Like honestly, it goes out the window. He just rubs me the wrong way, and I have to just. You have to react. If you've got a level-headed West Ham fan, don't watch my preview. That's probably we could do it as combined 11 as well, and that's
that's gonna be interesting. I know Tobes is gonna literally try and throw every Tottenham player in, so that's gonna be
man. He'll never let me forget like the one we did last season. He won't let me forget.
How many did you have in last season?
I had quite a lot last season, and I had Souček in, and he was like,
because he pulled you up. He pulled up you, and he found. I don't know how he found your clip where you said, you know what, maybe I got it wrong with Souček, and he was on to you.
I did not want him to see that. Someone snitched on me.
Yeah, that was funny, man. But Dan, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on.
Man, good to be on your new channel.
Yeah, that's it. And I had to bite the bullet and start it sometime. Otherwise, you're never going to start it. And I've started it this season. And to be fair, it's going well. No one likes to build from the ground up, but to be fair, I've done that. Got a few people in the comments like that kit, Patrick. Appreciate it. You know what? This is funny because this was considered an unlucky kit when we wore it. We always lost away from home, but it is a nice kit. The collar does well. Sky blue, something different. You heard Carrasco linked to Spurs. I haven't heard anything like that been on here. So, yeah, for me, we need two more. We need, like I've been saying, a creative midfielder, ideally a 10/play, playmaker. I know they're saying Conte doesn't play with that, so it'd be more of a winger in the mode of a Kulusevski, but we've got too many of those. I want a creative mid, and I also want a better centre back. Romero's fantastic. Davinson Sanchez has been good, but the drop-off between Romero and Sanchez is quite wide. For me, I'd like a player on Romero's level so we can pair them together. And obviously, even if one drops out, you still got the other. But anyway, yeah, that's Oh, actually, while you're here, what's your wish list? If you could get one more in, what would you like and why?
Oh, that's tough. But yeah, I want a centre midfielder in that can offer something more than Souček, like in terms of progression, ball progression. That's what I'm looking at the moment. I think that's most realistic. So fingers crossed. Maybe if we can try, and there's still room to get Broja from Chelsea.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that one went quiet, didn't it? Because it looked like
Yeah,
was
apparently they're
get him.
still interested.
Okay,
So
okay.
it'll be interesting. But yeah, we linked with him. We linked with Conor Gallagher, which would be
Gallagher would be a good one, but allegedly Palace have put a 25 mil bid in, so that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer for that deal to happen. Like you fit in there, so yeah, it's not one that we're like really desperate for him. But after Paqueta, I think it's just going to be like a couple of loans here and there, like just to bolster out the squad because we're pretty much looking good now.
Yeah, man, you got a good squad. You have a good squad. I've definitely put you in the mix for. I don't know where you'll finish, but you'll definitely finish in the top 8. 6 to 8 is my opinion, is my prediction for you guys, and I think you're going to be strong and you're going to take a lot of points off teams. But like you said, this is the danger with signing players late, and we've been there as a Spurs fan. I know exactly how you feel. We sign players late, many a window, and it takes a while for them to get up to speed. Where we've brought our signings in early, so you're seeing Richarlison, you're seeing even Jed Spence, Basuma, when they're coming in, they're already up to speed now. Where Perisic, another good example, where it's going to take you guys a while to get there. It will happen, but it's just like how many games are you going to miss because of it, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
interesting. But anyway, peoples, thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow, share it with your friends and everything like that. I'm Patrick Tyrant. This is Dan Lawless. It's West Ham versus Tottenham on Wednesday. I'm hoping next time I jump on here, it will be with another W. If it isn't, then fair enough. As long as we put in a good performance, that's all we can ask for. Dan, thank you for tuning in, jumping on, shall I say. Good luck with your season. Not too much luck, but good luck anyway. You're a good guy. And obviously, we'll catch up soon. So people tuning in, thank you. Dan, thank you. And catch you guys soon.